What's up, guys? Prince Sports here. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Now, this LeBron James versus Michael Jordan debate, it's over for me. It's always been over. Okay, now, I want to talk about LeBron James. He just won his fourth championship, and you know whenever he wins or does something, it's going to get comparison to Michael Jordan. Or did that eclipse Mike? Did it surpass Mike? Did it did this? Did it did that? Listen, there's a lot of people that judge LeBron James unfairly, okay? A lot of that is based on hate. It's just plain and simple. It's just hate motivated. It's hate based, okay? There's no buts, ifs about it. It's all about hate. All right. Being objective is not harping on every single thing that a player does or one individual player does, but giving everybody else a pass. Okay, that's called, being a hater. But being objective is calling everything square down the middle. If you have a criteria, and if somebody violates that criteria or goes up against that criteria, you put them in a punishment box for a while, okay? You penalize their ass for a while. That's being objective, okay? Calling everything fair, straight down the middle. Equal judgment, okay? Because if this guy did that, I'm going to have to call him out. If this guy did the same thing, I'm going to have to call him out. It's just simple as that, okay? When you give a lot of people fair passes, you're being biased, okay? And when it comes to sports, I don't like my sports biased. I like it objective, okay? So this whole LeBron James thing, comparing him to Mike, listen, LeBron James is great, okay? He's a great basketball player, no question about it. But he's never going to surpass Mike. He's already in his 17th season. It's too late. It's just simple as that. Even if he goes on, let's just say he never wins a championship after this, okay? He stays at 4. That's still not enough to pass Mike, you know? He goes on playing 3 more seasons, he stat pads, this and that, whatever, or he increases his stats. None of that is going to surpass Jordan, okay? He already surpassed Jordan in scoring. That doesn't mean he's a better basketball player, okay? He may surpass Kareem in scoring. That doesn't mean he's going to have more championships than Kareem, okay? At this point in LeBron James' career, stats are not impressive that much no more. What's more important is you in the championship race. It's all about winning at this point for LeBron James. Magic got 5, Kobe got 5, Kareem got 6, Jordan got 6. He's trying to catch that level, okay? But that doesn't mean he's going to surpass Jordan if he gets 5 championships. Even if he gets 6, he may not surpass Mike. He's going to have to probably get 7, realistically speaking. And maybe that still won't be enough because it took him too long to do it. It's a situation of quantity over quality, or vice versa. But it's that type of situation, okay? Just because you've been doing something longer doesn't mean it's more impressive. Okay, put it like this: it's like going to high school, right? Let's say I get out of high school at 17, and my boy, he's still in high school at the age of 20. Okay, that's not that impressive. Okay, I'm already 20 years old. I'm in college. I'm about to get a new job. The whole thing. That fool is still in high school at the age of 20. That's not impressive. Okay, you're still behind. So that's similar to the Michael Jordan and LeBron James thing. Okay, now prime for prime. I keep telling this: Mike's prime is better than LeBron's prime. Okay. When they're both wearing their prime, at their highest peak, their highest level, Jordan was better. Okay, 10-time scoring champ. You already know the resume, right? The dominance that Michael Jordan had on and off the court is not as far surpassed LeBron's. Okay, LeBron's a great basketball player, but he don't equal to that. Okay, Jordan. I'm not going to go about the finals record because it's more deeper than that, all right? It's just a simple fact that Jordan was a better scorer, a more effective scorer, a more efficient scorer, a more better defensive one-on-one basketball player. He affected the game, both sides, better than LeBron James, all right? You can make a case LeBron James is a better rebounder. He should be. He's a bigger guy. And you can make a case that he's a better playmaker. Fine, all right? But at the end of the day, all that playmaking, passing the ball, what has that gotten you, okay? It costs you a lot of games. It costs you some championships in some aspects, okay? There's 2 championships that always going to be hanged over his career. For me, it's 2011 and 2015, all right? To me, you kind of left those on the table. I don't want to hear it because you beat the Spurs the year before that. So the very next season, you lose to the same team. That was the same Spurs team that you beat, all right? So that's a fair, equal loss. I don't want to hear no excuses. You lost that championship, just like you lost the Dallas Mavericks. So that's 2 championships you left on the table, all right? LeBron James' biggest problem when it comes to Mike, he never scraped the plate, okay? Jordan always scraped the plate. He took everything he could get out of the time that he played. He maximizes, all right? He played 82-game seasons. LeBron James only did that once. Jordan did that multiple times. So Jordan maximized his value in a shorter time, played at a higher level than LeBron James. That's why, to me, LeBron would never catch Mike, okay? You get, like, the cockiness of LeBron James, right? Now, he goes on Twitter. He says, he's talking this stuff. Rightfully so, because we're in a social media era where you could talk about other players, and players could strike back. So he's going back at his haters by saying me and AD equals championship. Cool. But here's the downside to that. If you lose, people are going to remember those type of quotes. All right? So this is where your criticism comes in. So you're going to have to keep on winning. It's plain as simple as that. And that's fair. That's fair criticism. To me, LeBron James is the Wilt Chamberlain of his era. Okay? Wilt Chamberlain is 2-4 in the finals. If Wilt Chamberlain been to the finals as much as LeBron, I think he would have a similar record. But nevertheless, LeBron gives the Lakers a 17th championship, tied with the Boston Celtics. That's great within itself. So,
jeez.
Okay, take Game 6 for example. I'm just going to use this as an example. All right. He dunks the basketball, claps it, showboats. All right. That's part of LeBron James being cocky. That's just who he is. Okay, he's a cocky basketball player. All right. So when a guy's that cocky, it makes people hate against him more when he loses because they notice how cocky and how in your face he is. LeBron James is hip hop. He's different from Michael Jordan in that aspect because Jordan came up on the 70s soul music. LeBron James came on the projects, FU hip hop attitude. And I don't mind that. I like that. This is one thing I like about him, that he's able to be different. And one thing, the fact that LeBron James is so different from Michael Jordan, it gives a lot of people credence to sit there and say, well, he could do this, he could do that. He could play an all-around game, but people fail to realize Jordan could do the same thing too. It's just a opportunity of having the ball in your hands that much. When Phil Jackson came to the system, they took the ball out of Jordan's hands as much. Remember, Jordan was averaging triple-doubles, Defensive Player of the Years, MVPs, all that while he was under Doug Collins because he had the ball in his hands, He could average a triple-double. He played point guard for a while. And he was averaging a triple-double for like 9 games. And could do that even longer if he wanted to. All right? So we already seen Jordan do those type of things. So Jordan's just a relentless type of player. On and off the court, he's just so relentless. And on the court, he wanted to stash your heart out. So this is why I say if they two played against each other, I think Mike would seriously get the best of LeBron James. It'll be a situation like, even if LeBron goes to the finals a lot, he'll lose to Michael Jordan a lot. It'd be like Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain type of stuff. Jordan being a Bill Russell type of guy, beating Wilt Chamberlain all the time. So that's where that comes into play. And a lot of people are making a big deal out of LeBron stat padding. Game 6, he did stat pad, okay? They're up by 30, okay? That's the time you're supposed to sit your players down and relax. But LeBron wanted to get his triple-double. He was stat padding. There was no need to have him out that game when you're up by 30 in the fourth quarter. If the game gets close, they make a run, then you put them back in the game. But usually, we all come up watching basketball. If you up by 30 heading into the fourth, your star players are sitting down. That's just the situation of what it is. Jordan never stat padded like that. There's not too much cases you could make for Jordan saying he was stat padding, because Jordan wasn't looking for his stats. He was looking for a way to win. You know? Oh, if I have to score, that's the only way we can win. I'm going to score. If I had to shut this guy down, I had to shut this guy down. Jordan always looked for a way to win. All right? That was his main goal. All right? That was the difference between him and LeBron. Jordan was the ultimate competitor, the ultimate winner. Better career, better winner. That's why LeBron would never surpass Jordan. But that doesn't mean he's not on Mount Rushmore. That doesn't mean he's not an all-time great, okay? I'm just not pitting him over Mike. It's just simple as that, all right? And to answer your question before you sit there and say, well, you know, Jordan would have stat pad in that same situation LeBron was in Game 6. No, he would not. Because a part of the reason to why, if Jordan was on that Los Angeles Lakers team, part of the reason to why they're up by 30 would have been because of Jordan. Okay? He would have done the majority of the scoring, and he would have had those LeBron James numbers before the fourth quarter even came. So he would have been sitting down anyway. So that's the difference. All right? Jordan always got going fast as he could. All right? He didn't wait. You know, up until that point, LeBron's numbers was average. So he had to stat pad those fourth quarter stats to get that triple-double. That was stat padding. No buts, ifs about it. And for a guy that has a shirt that says, check out my stats, that shows that he cared about stats, okay? It's a perfect example how stats could be watered down and how they could be favored, you know? And just because it looks good on paper doesn't mean it's really that impressive. You got to look at the game and break it down. So that's where stats come into play. Stats don't show everything. You got to watch the games first and foremost. You got to know basketball. Peace. Prince Sports out.